Y'all, stop whatever you're doing, put down that iced coffee, hide your ring lights, and brace your Wi-Fi. Because the love and hip-hop streets are officially on fire. And no, I'm not talking about a petty subtweet or a wig snatch in the parking lot. I'm talking about a Category 5 nuclear level Instagram live gone wrong tea eruption that just changed season 13 forever. Picture this, you're doom scrolling through IG stories, minding your own messy business, when bam, rogue live notification pops up. Mendeecees Harris, yes, that Mendeecees, Mr. I held it down when I was locked up, Mr. Yandy, ride or die. You click, thinking maybe he's plugging some merch or talking about growth again, but nope. Oh no, baby, you've just walked straight into a digital war zone. Cameras shaking, comments section screaming, and there's Mendeecees blazing, jaw tight, voice cracking, dropping the kind of bombshell that makes Twitter glitch and Mona Scott Young cancel her spa day. Yandy, pregnant. And she's been hiding it from everybody. Excuse me, Yandy Smith Harris, queen of curated couple goals and power brunch selfies, keeping a whole pregnancy under wraps. Since WHEN? From who? And WHY does this feel less like a happy baby announcement and more like the season finale of Scandal, directed by Shonda Rhimes on 3 Red Bulls? Buckle up, because this ain't just tea. This is the boiling, overflowing, scald your lips kind. And baby, we're about to sip every single drop. Alright, let's set the scene, because what Mendeecees Harris did on that Instagram live was not just a casual slip of the tongue. It was a full-scale detonation of a scandal that hit the love and hip-hop universe like a meteor strike. And to understand how heavy this is, you have to remember exactly who we are dealing with here. We have Yandy Smith Harris, the polished reality TV star, the queen of coordinated power outfits and public image control. A woman who has built a reputation as one of the most consistent and brand-safe faces of the franchise. And Mendeecees Harris, her on-again, off-again partner, the man who turned prison visits into emotional television arcs and who has survived more cheating rumors, social media wars, and whispered production gossip than most cast members could handle in a lifetime. Together, they have always been positioned as a kind of power couple, a slightly messy but still aspirational duo who somehow managed to survive whatever storm VH1 throws at them. They have weathered rumors, public arguments, and endless tabloid speculation. Yet Yandy always kept her composure, never letting her guard down in public. Always making sure that whatever narrative came out still made her look in control. But that image shattered the moment Mendeecees decided to go live and speak with no filter. It started so casually, with him answering light questions from fans. Talking about self-improvement, dropping the usual "God is still working on me," lines that reality stars love to use when they are staying vague. Then it happened. Someone in the comments typed, "Where's Yandy? Haven't seen her lately, is she pregnant or something?" Now, anyone else in his position would have laughed it off, maybe deflected with a joke or a "you'll have to wait and see" tease, but Mendeecees paused, took a breath, looked into the camera, and decided to light the match. He said, and I quote, "It ain't rumors, it's facts. Yandy's pregnant, been pregnant, and she's been hiding it from everybody." The way he delivered that line, it wasn't excited, it wasn't loving, it wasn't even neutral. It was cold, laced with the kind of bitterness that only comes from feeling betrayed. The comment section exploded instantly. People were typing in all caps, demanding receipts, asking if the baby was even his, throwing wild accusations, and tagging every gossip page they could think of. This was not a soft reveal. This was an emotional Molotov cocktail lobbed directly at Yandy's image, and the internet could not look away. Now you might be thinking, couples have surprise pregnancies all the time. Why is this such a big deal? But you have to understand the context. This is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13, where personal drama is the lifeblood of the show. Where secrets are carefully crafted into multi-episode arcs to keep ratings up. And where a reveal like this is worth actual money to the network. And instead of letting it play out on camera with a dramatic build-up, Mendeecees just gave it away for free in the most chaotic way possible. But that's only the beginning. Because according to him, Yandy didn't even tell him about the pregnancy right away. He claims he found out from a stylist. Yes, you heard that correctly, a stylist, who mentioned that Yandy had been skipping fittings due to nausea and swollen feet. Imagine finding out that your wife is pregnant not from her mouth but from a third party while discussing wardrobe. That alone would be enough to set off alarms, but the timeline makes it even messier. Mendeecees insists this has been going on for months, meaning that Yandy has been actively hiding it not just from fans but from cast members, producers, and even him for a significant period of time. Which leads to the burning question, how did she pull it off? This is the same Yandy who once live tweeted her contractions, who has turned personal milestones into public content for years, who knows how to work the media better than most publicists, and yet, according to multiple so-called insiders, she went full stealth mode for this pregnancy. Oversized coats in the middle of sweltering Atlanta summer. Giant purses held suspiciously high in every photo. Strategic camera angles that kept her torso conveniently out of frame. One anonymous source claims producers were aware and helped her hide it, filming scenes from the chest up or blocking her behind kitchen counters and furniture. Fans have even gone back to old episodes, scenes for clues, and pointing out moments where she turns her body just enough to obscure her stomach. Episode 4 in particular has become a favorite for amateur detectives, with people slowing down footage to prove that she is deliberately avoiding showing her midsection. And if that were all, it would already be headline-worthy. But men made sure to pour gasoline on the fire by adding that this was not a happy, mutually celebrated pregnancy. According to him, she did not want this baby, and that is why she kept it a secret. He even implied that the secrecy had driven a wedge between them so deep that they are barely speaking. At this point, the live had completely spiraled, with fans asking if the child was his, others accusing her of cheating, and still more suggesting that this could involve another man entirely. Mendeecees did not confirm anything, but he also did not deny it. He simply said that things started to get strange around March. That Yandy had a lot of late-night phone calls and therapy sessions that did not include him, and that he started feeling like he was on the outside of his own marriage. The silence after those statements was deafening. Thousands of people were watching in real time as a marriage unraveled in front of them, and Mendeecees stood there, calm but clearly holding back more than he was saying. That calmness almost made it worse, because it felt rehearsed, like he had been planning to drop this for a while. Meanwhile, the internet was already mobilizing. Reddit threads popped up dissecting every social media post Yandy had made in the past 6 months. TikTok users were making compilation videos of her baggy outfits and disappearing acts. Instagram gossip pages were pulling old interviews to look for inconsistencies. And then came the cryptic posts from other cast members, most notably Erica Mena, who wrote, "Women lie, bellies don't" in her Instagram story without naming names. The implication was clear enough, and fans took it as confirmation that something deeper was going on. The more people dug, the more suspicious everything looked. It wasn't just about a hidden pregnancy anymore. It was about what else Yandy might be hiding, why Mendeecees chose now to speak out, and whether this was the tip of a much bigger iceberg waiting to be exposed. And just when viewers thought maybe the live was winding down, Mendeecees leaned back, smirked, and said, "If y'all knew what else was going on behind closed doors, this would be the least shocking part." And then he just let that hang there. No explanation, no follow-up, letting the audience's imagination run wild, while the live chat exploded with speculation about what bomb he might be about to drop next. The silence after that smirk was like blood in the water for the gossip sharks circling online, because Mendeecees knew exactly what he was doing by dropping that little cliffhanger and letting the audience's imagination do the rest. And if you thought people were losing their minds over the pregnancy revelation, then you should have seen the frenzy when they started piecing together what that else could mean, because within minutes, alleged insiders were sliding into gossip bloggers. Demis claiming they had the real tea about the Harris household, and the stories were nothing short of chaotic. One so-called friend of a friend claimed that Yandy had been in secret talks with a network executive about launching her own spin-off show without Mendeecees, and that the pregnancy storyline was meant to be her big hook for the pilot, which allegedly explains why she was keeping it quiet from both the public and from him, because she wanted the reveal to be exclusive content she could control. But if that's true, it also means she was essentially willing to play him for ratings. Then another source claimed that Mendeecees had been staying at a hotel in Buckhead for the last 2 weeks, even though he told fans he was just working late, which fueled the rumor that the two were living separately while trying to keep up appearances for the cameras. And because this is the internet, no theory is too wild, so by the next morning there were threads claiming that the baby might belong to someone from the production crew, while others pushed the narrative that it could be tied to a high-profile Atlanta businessman who has been linked to more than one reality star in the past. But here's where it gets even juicier, because around this time a blurry screenshot began circulating, allegedly showing a text exchange between Yandy and a contact saved as D, where she is seen asking him to lay low until the season wraps. and thanking him for keeping quiet, which obviously sent people into overdrive trying to identify who D could be. Some fans insisted it was just a fake screenshot made by trolls, while others swore it matched the texting style of a certain DJ she has been photographed with at charity events. Meanwhile, Mendeecees, instead of clarifying or denying anything, posted a cryptic Instagram story with the words "loyalty is not a trend" over a black background, and turned off his comments. That move alone set off alarms because usually when a celebrity is hit with a major scandal, they either deny everything or try to spin the narrative, but in this case, his silence was being read as confirmation. Then came the paparazzi photos. Out of nowhere, Yandy was spotted in New York, wearing what can only be described as the most calculated disguise possible: oversized hoodie pulled low, giant sunglasses covering half her face, and a scarf wrapped around her neck even though it was nearly 80 degrees. She was walking quickly, holding a phone to her ear, and being flanked by what looked like 2 security guards. That single photo was enough for fans to claim she was in hiding, but the real kicker was the bag she was carrying. Eagle-eyed viewers noticed it was the same designer tote she had in season 9 when she famously tried to sneak paperwork past a rival cast member during a heated scene, which led to speculation that she might be meeting with a lawyer. That theory gained traction when a gossip page claimed they had confirmed with courthouse staff that a Smith Harris had requested certain legal documents be pulled earlier that week, though they admitted they could not verify if it was Yandy or someone else in her family. By this point, the storyline had snowballed so far beyond the original pregnancy reveal that even people who do not watch Love and Hip Hop were tuning in just to see what would happen next. Talk radio hosts were weighing in, Twitter was flooded with memes, and TikTok creators were making parody skits of Mendeecees spilling the tea while eating cereal in his kitchen. But then something happened that took the drama from messy reality TV gossip into potential career-ending territory. An anonymous Instagram account dropped what they claimed was a partial audio recording of a heated argument between Yandy and Mendeecees, in which she can be heard saying "this was never supposed to be your business," followed by him saying, "You made it my business when you brought it into this house." The clip is only 14 seconds long and cuts off abruptly, but it was enough to fuel theories that whatever she was hiding went far beyond a pregnancy. Some speculated it could involve financial issues, especially since fans have pointed out that the couple has been unusually quiet about their businesses lately. Their restaurant venture has gone silent on social media, their joint brand endorsements have dried up, and even Yandy's usually active PR team has been keeping a low profile. Adding to the chaos, another so-called insider came forward claiming that the network itself was now in panic mode because if Mendeecees had more dirt to spill, it could ruin a major plotline they had already filmed for season 13. According to this source, producers have allegedly offered him a bonus to stop talking publicly and save the rest for the reunion episode, but there is no confirmation on whether he agreed. In fact, some fans believe he is deliberately holding back the biggest bombshell for maximum impact. Meanwhile, the public reaction has been a mix of shock, outrage, and morbid fascination. Some are defending Yandy, saying that women have the right to keep pregnancies private, especially if the relationship is rocky. Others are accusing her of manipulation, claiming she has been using the relationship as a prop for her brand while hiding things that make her look bad. A third group just wants to see the chaos unfold, cheering Mendeecees on like he is the main character in a soap opera. And all of this is playing out in real time on social media, with every post, like, and unfollow being scrutinized like evidence in a criminal trial. Just when it seemed like the frenzy might die down, a blind item appeared on a popular gossip site, suggesting that a reality star in Atlanta is under quiet investigation for misuse of charitable funds related to a non-profit she runs. While no names were mentioned, the comments section immediately filled with Yandy's name, citing her past involvement in charity work and questioning whether this could be connected to the current drama. If that were true, it would mean the pregnancy scandal is just a small part of a much bigger mess that could involve legal consequences and potential damage to her career far beyond reality television. And yet through all of this, Yandy has not made a single public statement. No denial, no confirmation, nothing except a carefully staged photo of her holding a cup of tea and smiling at the camera, like she knows something the rest of us do not. The image of Yandy sitting there with that cup of tea went viral within hours, not because it was glamorous, but because it was almost taunting, as if she was silently telling everyone that she was in control of the story, no matter what was being said about her. And that quiet confidence only made the speculation more intense, because if she was truly rattled, why would she be smiling at all while the world ripped her apart online? Behind the scenes, however, whispers were getting louder that things were starting to spiral beyond what even the producers had bargained for, as more and more unverified but tantalizing pieces of information began leaking out from people claiming to have been in the couple's orbit over the past few months. One particularly bold anonymous tip claimed that Mendeecees had been approached by an entertainment journalist from a major magazine, who was offering him a cover story deal if he would agree to spill everything in one exclusive interview, which would bypass the network entirely and potentially cause a contractual nightmare for everyone involved. Another rumor suggested that a former friend of Yandy's was shopping around a tell-all book proposal, and that this friend allegedly had receipts in the form of old text messages, bank records, and behind-the-scenes photos from filming that could turn public opinion against her instantly. Whether these claims were true or not almost did not matter anymore, because the perception was that there was a much darker underbelly to the Harris empire than anyone had realized, and now the floodgates were wide open. The legal angle also took a sharp turn when a local Atlanta news outlet ran a small segment about a subpoena issued to an unnamed reality TV personality connected to a non-profit under state review, which naturally set the internet ablaze with people connecting dots that may or may not have existed, but the timing was too perfect for conspiracy theorists to ignore. Then came the leak that felt like a climax in a soap opera, a heavily watermarked clip from what appeared to be an unedited confessional interview of Mendeecees from the upcoming season, where he is seen saying, "At the end of the day, you can't build a kingdom on secrets," before pausing, shaking his head, and muttering something under his breath that the audio barely catches but sounds a lot like "especially when the baby ain't yours." That fragment alone sent shockwaves through the fandom because it seemed to confirm the wildest theory that had been circulating since the start. And if true, it would turn this entire saga from messy relationship drama into full-blown betrayal on national television. The network scrambled to get the clip removed from every platform, but in the age of screen recordings and instant uploads, it was too late, and within hours it was being dissected frame by frame by YouTubers and TikTok analysts who slowed it down, enhanced the audio, and debated endlessly about whether he actually said those words, or if it was just wishful hearing from people hungry for drama. As if on cue, another twist landed when paparazzi photos emerged showing Mendeecees leaving what looked like a downtown law office carrying a thick folder under his arm and wearing that same stony expression he had during his post-prison interviews, which only fueled theories that divorce papers or custody filings could be imminent. The next day Yandy was photographed again, this time at a trendy restaurant in Harlem, laughing with a small group of friends, and noticeably not wearing her wedding ring, which the tabloids pounced on instantly as visual proof that the marriage was in freefall. Fans were split between those who believed she was reclaiming her independence and those who saw it as a calculated PR move to make herself look unbothered, while controlling the narrative. Meanwhile, certain corners of social media were starting to question whether the entire scandal was being exaggerated or even staged for ratings, given that Love and Hip Hop has a long history of blurring the lines between reality and scripted drama. But the counterargument was that the sheer number of off-camera leaks and the involvement of outside media suggested this had gone far beyond what the producers could manage. The tension hit a fever pitch when an unconfirmed but widely circulated message claimed that both Yandy and Mendeecees had been summoned for a closed-door meeting with network executives and legal advisors to discuss damage control strategies, with one source claiming the meeting lasted over 6 hours and ended with everyone leaving separately without speaking to the press. That same night, Mendeecees posted a photo of himself on Instagram, sitting in a dimly lit room with the caption, "Some truths don't need a camera," which was instantly interpreted as a jab at Yandy and the production team. Then almost poetically, the very next morning Yandy broke her silence in the smallest way possible by posting a single Instagram story of a newborn's hand gripping an adult finger with the caption, "God's timing," and nothing else. The internet collectively imploded because it was the first direct acknowledgement of a baby since the chaos began, but it raised more questions than it answered. Whose hand was it? Was this a current photo or an old one? Was it confirmation that she had given birth in secret, or just a symbolic message? Every gossip blog in the game ran with it, while fans dissected the skin tone, the background blur, and even the jewelry on the adult hand, trying to figure out who it belonged to. The lack of clarity only deepened the mystery, and by now the entire saga had taken on a life of its own, no longer just about a pregnancy but about trust, betrayal, brand survival, and the way reality TV eats its own. People who had never cared about Love and Hip Hop were suddenly binge-watching old episodes to catch subtle signs. they might have missed while longtime fans were either doubling down on their loyalty to Yandy, or switching sides entirely to root for Mendeecees to burn it all down. Industry insiders whispered that advertisers were getting nervous about associating with the show, while others hinted that this level of attention could actually lead to a spike in ratings so large that the network might quietly forgive everything if it kept the money flowing. By the time the reunion taping date was leaked online, people were already predicting it would be the most watched episode in the franchise's history, with some even joking that pay-per-view might be the only way to manage the demand. Whether the truth behind all the rumors ever comes out almost does not matter anymore, because the spectacle has become the story and the players in it have become archetypes in a modern-day reality TV tragedy where love, loyalty, fame, and scandal are all twisted together in a way that guarantees nobody comes out completely clean and everybody walks away a little more infamous than they were before. So, now that you've heard the wildest, messiest, most jaw-dropping breakdown of the Mendeecees and Yandy's secret pregnancy scandal, what do you think? Was Yandy hiding something big to protect her brand, or was Mendeecees just out here trying to steal the spotlight and stir up drama? Is this the ultimate reality TV betrayal, or just another carefully crafted storyline to keep us hooked? And seriously, who's the real baby daddy? The internet's buzzing with theories, but the truth still wrapped tighter than Yandy's mysterious, oversized hoodies. We want to hear your wildest takes, your shady guesses, and your hottest opinions down in the comments. Don't hold back, spill that tea, expose those receipts, and let's get this conversation popping. If you're living for this kind of unfiltered, unapologetic drama, make sure you hit that like button to show some love. Subscribe to stay in the loop, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any future explosive updates. Because, baby, with love and hip-hop, the story is never really over, it's just getting started. Stay tuned, stay messy, and as always, keep sipping that tea right here with us. Peace out, peace out.